Never a dull moment surrounding Juventus and never a dull moment in any mercato, all right? And yesterday was no different and it carries over into this morning, okay? We had Mirko Di Natale live on the show talking about Paul Pogba. Well, yesterday the Paul Pogba news took off about him potentially leaving Juventus, heading to Saudi Arabia. We're going to take a look at the news that crossed up even the top journalists. And then Sergej Milinkovic-Savic now all of a sudden gone, heading to Saudi Arabia. We got to take a look at the offer that he simply can't refuse, can he? All that and more. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. I'm Alberto. Let's rock. We're going to kick things off with the Pogba scenario. Like I said, Mirko Di Natale on our show yesterday, I specifically asked him about Pogba and Saudi Arabia, and he said no. Paul Pogba's intentions are to remain at Juventus, stay at Juve, and redeem himself. Then fast forward to yesterday evening, where all of a sudden Paul Pogba is in Saudi Arabia, where nobody seemed to even know he was there. He's visiting a club's facilities. He is ready to accept potentially this big offer from a club. However, then a quick U-turn from all involved, even the sources who were releasing that there was an offer, that he was visiting clubs and he was there and could be leaving Juventus, that he was only there for personal reasons. Fast forward to this morning, he is at Continassa getting ready for training again with the rest of the team that you can see on social media starting to arrive. All right, so we probably do remain where we stand, what Mirko Di Natale said, and he doubled down today again, saying that, look, Paul Pogba's intentions are to remain at Juventus and redeem himself. So there you have it. But Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, that's a different story, but we'll get to that in a bit, okay? Negotiations for Federico Chiesa and Newcastle expected to intensify over the next week. They've already gone up apparently to 50 million euros. That is getting very, very close to the number where Juve would strongly consider, and that's 60 million euros. We'll have to see what happens there. As far as our defense goes, Gatti and Danilo apparently are the only two safe, okay? And Bonucci remains distant, and Mirko Di Natale said that is definitely a situation worth monitoring because the club has told him for a while now that he is fine to go out and assess opportunities from other clubs. So we'll have to see what happens there. In terms of Zakaria, the deal is very, very close. West Ham is at 20 million euros. Juve playing a little bit of hardball, trying to get it closer to that 25 million euros that they're asking for, okay? In terms of two potential targets for Juventus, Bence Dardai of Hertha Berlin has been listed as an attacking midfield target for Juventus. His contract is expiring in 2024. The other potential target for Juventus is Abde Ezzalzouli of Barcelona. Okay, so we'll have to see if there is actually anything concrete. I'm waiting for stronger sources to actually confirm interest in both of those players. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Now the big one, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic apparently heading to Saudi Arabia, and there's a big target for Juventus that is gone. So with the Pogba news heading to Saudi Arabia, Juventini were starting to make sense of the whole situation, saying, well, this makes sense now why all of a sudden we're going hard and going all in on Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. However, Pogba remains. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is the one that takes this big offer, and it is being reported that he most likely will be taking it. Look, the deal on the table is just over 40 million euro sale price for Lazio. That'll make Lotito happy on a guy going into the last year of his contract. And then the deal for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is 25 million euros a year. In contrast, what Juve had agreed with terms with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic was 5.5 million euros per season. That is insane. He's going to be making over 4 times the amount of money to go over and play there. I absolutely cannot see how he says no to this deal, all right? So Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, it appears, will be I would be insanely shocked if he did not take the offer. So expect Sergej Milinkovic-Savic to take that, and this is going to change things up for Juventus. Sure, it could definitely change things up. And to be honest, I've been saying this for a while, probably about 2 podcasts ago, saying on a live show that the Saudi Arabia thing is definitely going to change the landscape for clubs like Juventus and whatnot, and leagues like Serie A and whatnot. The Premier League can compete, but even they are balking at some of the numbers that these guys are throwing around. And this is kind of that deal where it's kind of insane. We heard Gigi Buffon was offered a contract of 15 million euros per year. At this stage of his career, that is insane money that they have, that they are more than willing to throw around. All right, but when it comes to targets like this, and we see the guys from Chelsea that were leaving, that were obviously one of them was a target of Juventus, they start going at these prices, and we cannot compete with those prices. So what it's going to do is eventually start taking the tier down of where we're doing our shopping, and it's going to affect leagues like ours. And like I said, the Prem can get away with it, but if we're so far behind the Prem, and the Prem is balking at these prices, it's going to be insane. But here's a prime example of numbers where you just can't mess with. 25 million euros per year for Milinkovic-Savic. Hey, I'd be shocked if he doesn't take it. Expect that target to go right out the door for Juventus, and then we'll move on with the rest of our mercato. As far as Parisi goes, talks with Fiorentina today. That deal expected to get close. So Juve and targets and whatnot, we're going to have to do some shifting and see what happens. All right, that's your news break to today. Juventina, you know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about all the news you just heard today. All right, and I'll be back tomorrow with another daily update video. Fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.